All right, Lucy, welcome to Spa Marketing School. This is a series brought to you by Atto Aesthetics where we try and give you marketing tips that are straight to the point that you can implement in 15 minutes or less. And today we are talking about CTAs. And CTAs are calls to action. You are our marketing manager here at Atto Aesthetics. And so I thought it would be relevant and important to have you on to talk about this topic today.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. And as you had mentioned, call to actions. Those are the prompt that encourage somebody to take a specific action. So that sounds relatively simple, but they can be kind of confusing in your messaging. But I will say that they have been extremely important in our growth as a company because not only are they an integral part of our messaging that makes it easy for our ideal audience to understand exactly what we want them to do, what we want them to register for, what we want them to buy, but they've also been a great engagement tool on social.
I think what I see in spa so often is that they'll either do a post with just nothing, like doesn't ask you to leave a comment, doesn't ask you to leave a DM, doesn't ask you to leave a book, to book an appointment, anything like that. So there's like no action. Or in an email, oftentimes we'll see like 5 topics.
Yeah.
And that can be like, how would you recommend using a CTA in social versus how you would use it in email?
Well, the really great thing right now on social, if you haven't tapped into the market yet, is ManyChat.
Mhm.
We've spoken a lot about this on Small Marketing Made Easy. We talk a lot about it in Addo Professional Association.
We're
ManyChat,
using it in our company. I mean,
exactly.
yeah.
We're living proof of the benefits of it. So that can kind of make it easy on social to have a call to action because no longer are the days of link in bio and then hoping that they click on the link. Now they can just easily comment the word and then it sparks a conversation directly in your DMs. So what's nice there is you are having more control over whether they're clicking the link or not, because you're just making it easier. Because of course, everything needs to be automated today and easy for everyone. But when we're talking about email is a different animal because it's all text and you want to make sure that you're specific and to the point. Obviously, especially with spa, there's a lot of things going on. You might be running promos on different services and also getting ready to host an event. So I understand there's many things that you're doing in your business, but you almost have to create a priority list that is like, okay, at this point in time, what is most important for our ideal audience to get from us the information. I know we talk a lot about how your email should be like 80% informational and then 20% action related. So you need to think about that in regards to when you're building it. Yes, I may have 6 things I need to talk about, but during this time of the month, this one thing is at the top of the priority list. So I think that's a good rule of thumb or action that you could take when you're planning out your emails.
Yeah, and not having more than one to do in an email, I
Yeah.
found is if you're wanting them to book an appointment, it's you don't want to be like, visit our retail store here, book an appointment here, respond back if you want us to,
Well, as you
whatever.
know, with links, if you don't click open in a new window, it takes them off of the window that they're already currently on. So you lose them at that point if you don't have the ability for them to come back.
Yeah, that's so important. I want to go back to this concept with ManyChat because I think that, we talk a lot about the importance of getting an ROI on all things that you do, whether that's a time investment or a money investment. And social is one of those things that can be really challenging for people when they're like, I spend so much time on social. I'm not sure that I'm actually getting the appointments booked. Like, why am I doing this? If they can't like directly relate the appointments that they're getting through social. And so we want to know, and oftentimes like when spas are trying to count down and see, how many new patients did I get this month? Were they from Instagram? Were they from Google? Were they from referral? What are those places? if it was from Instagram, then you want to know what type of content was actually moving the needle so that you can create more of that. And so what ManyChat does is allow you to really see what types of posts and things are people engaging in so that you can create more of that. And you can also create these mini funnels. And we saw that with Fola. We highlighted her, one of our APA members, we highlighted her inside of the January issue of APA Monthly, how she's using ManyChat. She started it on, it was in November. She's like, okay, I'm just going to test this out. She got 13 consults
Yeah.
in just by putting ManyChat up. It's a $25 piece of software, $25 a month. And she was able to generate $30,000 from those consultations. So that is how I want spa owners to be using social. And it only works because there's a CTA. You have to give the direction of what is the action that you're wanting this individual to take.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to a point that I made earlier. You may be thinking to yourself, well, my link in bio is fine. It's working and I can see the clicks. I can see how many people are interacting. Like if you have the paid version of link in bio, it tells you all of that, all of those numbers you want to know. But the nice thing about ManyChat is it's going directly into the direct messages. So like you just said, you can build a flow, a conversation that is automated, or if you decide not to take it that far, at least you already have a connection, a welcome message to that person that you can manually follow up with. So it's the range of automation to manual work that you can create with the software is just, it's just such a new level compared to just checking out how many people clicked links, because you don't know if they officially booked unless you are manually going back and checking all the reports.
And if you're kind of fearful of tech or weary of introducing a new piece of technology, you can simply test for the next month, send us a DM, and have your front desk every day they're checking the DMs to respond and see what kind of traction you're getting from that. But send us a DM is a call to action. Comment below is a call to action. These are really simple calls to action. And why don't we go over just kind of some examples, some further examples of what a call to action would be and what's a good one and what's a bad one? We want them to be as simple as possible, right?
Yeah, I've given this lesson previously to some spa owners about CTAs that convert. And the first thing that comes up is, what are some of the mistakes that are being made? And I think the number one mistake would be that they're being too general and they're not making it clear, which I feel like we've kind of already covered. You want to make sure that there's only one per message, whether it's a social post, whether it's an ad, whatever it may be. You only want to have one CTA per message. And then it's important to be specific and focus on just that message. Now, I think the second mistake that they would be making is that they're missing the opportunity to create some type of urgency with their audience. A scarcity factor through language like limited time or FOMO. We refer to that a lot, fear of missing out. It makes consumers want to take action right away because they don't want to miss out on a deal or some type of promotion that's happening through that call to action. And then I think before we jump into examples, I think a third thing to think about while you're writing your call to actions is being clear over clever. So oftentimes we are seeing copywriters wanting to be adding a flair to their brand. And
yeah, and you're like, what is that? What does that even mean? Sometimes
all of that is great. Like it's great to be cute and clever, but there's a time and place for it. And call to actions aren't the place for that. You might want to stand out against your competitors, but when we're thinking about these are the actions I want them to take, we definitely want to be brief, clear, and direct. So you want to eliminate all confusion through your communication. And I think another important point before I move on to the examples with that is so often we forget that we live and breathe our brand every single day. So things that seem natural to us aren't always so apparent and natural to our audience. As they get to know us, that's part of awareness, but you want to make sure that you're being as direct as you possibly can, as though someone is just meeting you for the first time.
Yeah, and I think on that note, it's really important to take feedback in a positive way and say, wow, if they didn't understand this, then that probably means that I'm explaining it in a wrong way. Or like, how can I look at myself? Was my call to action too complicated? Is the offer clear? You know, if I have some sort of promotion going on, and a lot of times we see this with like, if you buy this much retail or you buy this, you know, and it's like the more simple you can be, the more straightforward you can be, the better. And I love, like, if you have friends or family that are not in the spa industry, let them read your copy. Let them read your promotion and see if they can explain back to you what the offer is. If they can't do that, then it's going to be a lot harder for even your team to understand everything and be able to effectively communicate that moving forward.
Yeah, and I think it just came to my mind while you were talking, something that is constant for someone like me right now in the thick of motherhood is Target always has spend $100 on diapers and wipes, get a $10 gift card. Like, it's so simple. I know I have to go in there, buy the specific brand, the specific size, and I'm always going to get a free $10 gift card. So they run that throughout the year consistently. And but they put a cap, like it's only specific weeks of the year, so you have to be like in the know and looking out for it. But when they do offer it, it's very clear you're going in, you're going to spend $100 and you're getting $10 of free gift card. So thinking of it that way, of like, you don't want your consumers to have to do a lot of math in their head because someone like me doesn't want to be adding it's just basic math. But when we're talking about examples for spa specifically, things, I think the number one point to make sure that you're hitting home is what are the actual benefits for the person. So you are offering something, but you want to follow up with what the benefits are for them. So, for example, if you have a membership and you are wanting to give a 7-day free trial or something of that nature, like making sure that benefit is ahead or the focus of the message rather than like what you're offering, what are they receiving. So join a
So
free.
comment below to get your 7-day free trial or something
Yes,
along those lines instead
not
of
just
like
like,
all the highlights of the membership.
yeah, because obviously that's important, but you, what are they actually getting out of it? Or like free shipping on all retail over $50. It's very similar to the Target example I just gave. If you spend this amount, you get this.
Mhm.
So being very clear and direct with that. And then with booking services, those are not as direct, you may be thinking to yourself. So what are the benefits? Phrases like clear skin, and obviously I don't think you can probably give an exact amount of time of that, but the benefit that they'll receive if they do come in for chemical peels, you're going to get clear skin, refreshing, rejuvenating. So those types of words in there, I think will attract people just a little bit
The
deeper.
benefit that they're going to receive.
Exactly. So that's essentially the point of making it the strength of your CTA.
Wonderful. So I want all of our spa listeners, our spa owners listening, and social media managers, anyone that is doing marketing for spas, make sure that you're including CTAs in all marketing aspects, whether that is social media, whether that is email, whether you're running some sort of funnel, whether you're promoting an event. You always want to have it extremely clear what is the next step that needs to be done to help this individual, this patient or potential patient into their next step of whatever that client journey is that you map for themselves. So I love it. Anything else you want to add, Lucy?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. But I just want to remember to encourage you that although this oftentimes I hear that copy, social media in general is intimidating, they don't know where to start. Start basic, be very direct, be very clear. And from there, as you get comfortable with it and test it, exactly like you said earlier, of testing, seeing what's working well with people, and then going from there. It doesn't have to be a complicated science.
Love it. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Spa Marketing School. We will see you next week.